is the sandbox. Well, before going into the sandbox site and actually configuring stuff, this is the organic groups project page on Drupal.org, and this is an issue with the number 1328740. You can come to this issue and write a comment if you think that the organic group maintainers are doing a good job. I definitely think they are, so I have written a comment here to give them some credit and encouragement. There's a link in the show notes, so you can just follow that to give credit to the OG maintainers. Right, so here is an empty sandbox site. I have enabled organic groups, and I have also enabled the OG examples module that gives us some basic content. Let's just show you what this is. There's a content type for group. I'm going to call this group 1. No, let's not give it a body right now, and just save. Now I have a group with a group tab. This is a tab that appears only on stuff that has this group field attached to it, and entities that are groups or are used as groups. Can create content post that belongs to this group. My first post belongs to group 1. Let's give it some text and save. I'm going to create a second group as well, just for the sake of it. A group, another group, like that, and save. Alright, so if you're interested in using controlling access to these groups, you can, well, you should go into your modules list and have a look here. There is a module called Organic Groups Access Control. We'll have a look at that in the next screencast. But before you go into messing with that, you should have a look at configuration and organic groups. And here is something called global roles and global permissions for groups, which is pretty interesting. If we check out these global permissions, you can see we have a list very similar to the permissions list you have, the global permissions list for your Drupal site, but this is managed for every group. So you can here set who is allowed to edit the group and administer and stuff like that, post, delete content. You get one row here for each of the content types that are that can be content in the group. This is only for node content. If you, for example, have tags, taxonomy terms as group content, these will not show up here. These permissions are only used in the node access table things in your Drupal site, and we'll have to wait until we have a generic way to manage entity permissions before we get anything better, I guess. There's also some settings for organic groups user interface here that you can turn on and off. As you would expect, you have different roles here, and you can, going back here to the global roles list, add new roles as well. So you can have, say, a special role, and that, reload the permissions list, and we have a new one here that you can use for allowing or disallowing people to do stuff in the group where they are members. Now the question is, of course, how to make people members and how to assign them roles, and I'm going to show you this. Going back to the front page, I'm going to take group 1 here. In the group tab, you get some nice options. We have add people, and we have people. People gives you a list of all the members in this group. If we add people, let's add the test user. We have a test user on this site. Membership state, we can have active, pending, or blocked. Active is the only one that gives grants access or these permissions to the member. If they're blocked or pending, they don't get any extra permissions for this group. You can add different membership types. I will get back to that in another screencast. And here's also a field for adding a request message, which is not really useful if you're adding them yourself. All right, I just added the test user to group 1. Let's go back here and check out the people tab. people link. Now we have 2 people here. And just as with the global people list in your Drupal site, you can select a user and say, I want to assign this user the special role. And there you go. That's how you assign people to a group and also grant them roles. I'm going to show you, I guess, in another screencast how to apply to become member in a group if you're not an administrator. You just want to apply and you want to see that workflow. That could be interesting. Right, so that's kind of it. Well, you can also see here we have the roles and permissions. You can view them for each group. This is a read-only state right now because you cannot change them on a per group unless you enable certain settings, which I will come back to in another screencast as well. You can see this is only read-only right now. It's just a copy of the global permissions. I'm pretty sure you can override this on a per group level, but I haven't found those settings yet, so I'll come back to that. Yes, there's one more setting that is important to know about when configuring permissions and roles for organic groups. And that is in configuration, organic groups, and organic group settings. This is probably the most important one, strict node access permissions. If you use this setting, which is on by default, which I think is sensible, it means that the organic groups permissions overrides the standard site permissions. If you have editors allowed to edit any article content, for example, this will not be applied to articles that are part of an organic group. So the organic groups content access settings will be used instead, and that's kind of sensible. If it belongs to a group, then it's probably the group editors that should manage it. But you can turn on and off that. Here's another one, group manager full permissions. The person that is, well, the user account that owns a group is called the group manager, and when this is checked, the group manager will have full permissions for that group, which also makes sense in most cases, which is why it's on by default. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of it. What did we see in this screencast? We saw how to take a group, assign people to it, adding people, and we can also, once we have added people, get a list of the people and grant them roles. These roles have separate permissions, and the permissions are managed in the configuration organic groups, OG global permissions. Where you set permissions here. This is mainly for node content in the group, not other kind of content. And you can also add new roles if you want to by going to organic groups and clicking the organic groups global roles. And that's it. We also learned that you can go to this issue and give some credit to the OG maintainers. I hope you had a good time in this screencast, and I'll see you in another one. Goodbye.